Thank you, Jubin, for having me. My name is Johannes Winter. I'm heading the technology department at ACATEC, the National Academy of Science and Engineering, located in Munich, Berlin, and Brussels. Additionally, I'm the managing director of the German National Platform for Artificial Intelligence, in short, Plattform Lernende Systeme, platform for self-learning systems. We are a non-for-profit, multi-stakeholder platform that brings together more than 200 leading AI experts from science, business, and civil organizations. It is a really good question. We should very precise when it comes to evaluating Europe, the US, and China in the context of AI research and adoption at commercial level. It is evident that the major platform companies with their AI-powered digital marketplaces, social media platforms, consumer applications, and streaming services largely hail from the US and China and Asia. However, the situation is different in certain areas where domain knowledge plays a major role. Think of industrial artificial intelligence, industrial IoT, of Industry 4.0, smart manufacturing. A smart factory must process an immense amount of machine data, process data, product data, user data, data coming from ERP systems, enterprise resource planning systems, and much more in almost real time. This would not work without the most innovative communication standards such as 5G, 6G, cloud and edge computing, data analytics, and of course AI methods and autonomous systems such as robots or autonomous vehicles in the shop floor. When it comes to the German and European perspective, as a supplier to the world, Germany is highly competitive in the field of AI-based process optimization in manufacturing industry and AI-driven business model innovation in industry. So there are much more examples from the mobility sector when we think of autonomous systems in rail transportation, automotive or aviation. In a nutshell, China and the US are leading in the rates of data infrastructure and consumer applications. However, Germany remains strong in the industrial B2B sector. Artificial intelligence has been highly instrumental in optimizing the way we entertain ourselves, interact with our mobile devices, to even driving vehicles for us. We tend to encounter machine learning algorithms and natural language processing in several everyday tasks more than we know. Put simply, we can classify the way AI is utilized to improve the functionalities of everyday life into two broad streams. First is software and methodology, of course. Well-known examples of AI software used in everyday life are voice assistants, translation apps, image recognition to unlock your smartphone, to unlock faces in mobile phones, and machine learning based financial fraud detection. The second is embodied or embedded AI in hardware. The hardware side of AI includes its use in drones, self-driving vehicles, assembly line robots, and in the Internet of Things. This includes the development of specific devices based on AI functions. In the smart home, we encounter such technologies when you think of your, I don't know, a robot, vacuum cleaner, and so on. So there are many other applications and AI-driven services. I guess AI is particularly good where we cannot easily, quickly, and cheaply cope with the fluid of data and the complexity of the environment in near real time. This is where AI can make our daily lives easier. Well, first of all, it's clear that AI systems are already everywhere in daily life, as mentioned before. Nevertheless, some people have reservations about AI, as mentioned. To create well-founded trust, we need, on the one hand, confidence in these new emerging technologies. This presupposes that AI-based applications are trustworthy, that the AI-based result, for example, in recruiting processes or HR, is comprehensible and fair. So we need a next generation, let's say, of trustworthy AI systems. On the other hand, self-determination is important. Users must have a say in what data is used, where privacy is at stake. And we need something like AI and data literacy. That means skills in dealing with AI, both in daily life and in a professional context. Not everyone needs to know programming, but everyone should be able to assess the opportunities and the limits of AI in daily use and be competent in dealing with new technologies in the digital age. Well, let me add one thing. A promising measure is certification of AI. It can be a competitive advantage if AI-based systems in, let's say, mobility or the health sector are measurable, safe, reliable, and fair, and performant. So we need clear standards and certifications for AI in concrete application areas. We are already working on this with industry, politics and science in the national AI standardization roadmap. So that's a look into the future, but it's really important to have the certification and the standardization process in the perspective. The national AI platform, the Plattform Self-Learning Systems, is a network of experts on the topic of AI. Its goals are as an independent broker to promote exchange and social dialogue on AI. The nearly 200 members from science, business, and society develop positions and recommendations on opportunities and challenges in working groups and name options for action for the responsible use of AI. This is dedicated to policymakers and leaders in the economy or society. The platform was founded in 2017 by the German Federal Ministry of Education and Research at the suggestion of the High-Tech Forum, this steering committee, and ACATEC, the National Academy of Science and Engineering. One of our products is a digital map on AI. So that means the map on AI shows where AI solutions are already being used in Germany, which institutes are conducting research into basic principles and applications, and which universities are training the next generation of AI experts. Concerning the aspects of trust and global partnership you mentioned, Europe has the potential to develop people-centered AI research that combines basic research with solid transfer into practice. However, collaboration with international partners is key. In a global world, cooperation with different partners from different industries and societies, and with different core competencies and skills, it is the only way to compete in a complex world. There are so many issues to manage: security, sustainability, sovereignty, performance, connectivity, and so on. So cooperation is a prerequisite for success. Currently we see a pronounced momentum in the development of large neural networks such as OpenAI's GPT-3, DeepMind's or Google's Lambda. A key element of the impressive current performance of such models lies in scaling, both in terms of the size of the data sets used for training and the number of parameters in the models. It is hard to imagine that the training of such models can be done by smaller organizations and SME and companies. Thus, the business community will have to rely on sourcing such large models from appropriate vendors and integrating them into their own AI systems and AI-driven applications. So we cannot rule out the possibility that the market situation will develop here as well, in which only a few large providers will have the resources, expertise, and capabilities to train such models. At the same time, technical progress is tremendous, also in academia, so that further developments could make similar results possible even with such smaller models.